Could Antonio Brown have caught Jerry Rice? Rice's career receiving records are considered among the most unbreakable in NFL history. He spent 2 decades in the league, racking up some insane statistics. But what many fans don't realize is that until everything went downhill for Antonio Brown, he was on pace to break some of Rice's career records. Through his age 30 season, which was 2018, his last year with the Steelers, Brown had 227 more receptions and nearly 1,000 more yards than Rice had at that point in his Hall of Fame career. Brown still trailed Rice in touchdowns, but AB was coming off a season in which he led the league in touchdown receptions despite playing only 15 games. Because, yeah, that whole absence thing in Week 17. Bryan DeArdo covered the Pittsburgh Steelers at the time and is now an NFL writer for CBS Sports.
He was a mix of Tyreek Hill and Marvin Harrison and had that will of Jerry Rice to be great, at least we thought. The guy trained all the time. He was maniacal about his workouts, his fitness, being the best. It's just very, very unfortunate that we're probably not going to see what he could have been. And that's why when you ask me about Antonio Brown, that's the first thought, not what he did, but what he could have done.
It's true, from 2013 to 2018, there was no receiver better than Brown. During that span, he became the first player in NFL history to record at least 100 receptions in 6 consecutive seasons. AB also led the league in receiving yards twice during this 6-year peak, and was named first-team All-Pro a total of 4 times. Considering the fact that Antonio Brown was showing no signs of slowing down, it's worth wondering what he could have accomplished had his ego not derailed his career in Pittsburgh.
I think Brown would have finished around 16,000, 17,000 career receiving yards. He would have had over 100 touchdown receptions easily. I still think Rice's records would have been safe, but I think Brown would have gotten into that top 10, would have easily crushed any Hall of Fame debate, and would have solidified his place as the greatest receiver of the 21st century. Now that's easily up for debate.
Even if a future in Pittsburgh was never meant to be, Brown got a second chance in Oakland and a third in New England. AB could have put up astronomical numbers with any team, but there was something particularly tantalizing about his brief pairing with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Tyler Sullivan provides some context.
You put him with Tom Brady, I mean, those guys theoretically could have put something special together for at least the 2019 season, and who knows, if things had worked out, they did have an option for that second year in 2020, so they could have put up some historic Randy Moss, Tom Brady-like numbers, which really would have made things on the borderline of record shattering.
Brown only played in 1 game with the Patriots, but in that 1 game, he connected with Brady 4 times, and one of those times went for a touchdown. They had an immediate connection. And had that connection blossomed into a full-blown chemistry, Antonio Brown could have shifted the trajectory of the entire Patriots dynasty.
I don't think there's a question about it that Antonio Brown would have been an absolute difference maker with the New England Patriots in 2019. I mean, if you just think about it from a team standpoint, they messed up in Week 17. That 1 game kicked them out of the number 2 seed, and then all of a sudden they had to play on a wild card weekend, and we know what happens there. It turns into, they get upset by the Tennessee Titans, and now there's a ton of questions that are still up in the air today about Tom Brady's future, what's going to happen there. If you had Antonio Brown, I would be led to believe that they would win 1 more game, whether it's that Week 17 game or wherever those losses were across over the course of the regular season. They would have won one of those games, become the number 2 seed, and then who knows what happened.
A Super Bowl ring or 2 in New England would have gone a long way for Brown. He never won one in Pittsburgh, and let's not forget, Jerry Rice played until he was 42. Even if Brown maintained his ridiculous statistical pace from 2013 to 2018 and didn't miss virtually the entire 2019 season, he wouldn't have broken Rice's receptions record until age 37. The yardage record wouldn't fall until a year after that, and AB would have had to play into his 40s to catch Rice for career touchdowns. So, with no job, no rings, and nowhere near Rice's career records, does Antonio Brown belong in the Hall of Fame?
This was a program of Antonio Brown's last game in a Steelers uniform right there. If it's that man right there would have been in the Hall of Fame. That man right there, this guy, if everything would have stayed together for 4 or 5 more years, this guy's in the Hall of Fame. This guy is gone. I don't know where this guy went. I don't know if we're ever going to see him again. And because of that, I don't think we're going to see this man in the Hall of Fame, which is a shame.
A couple years ago, there was no question about it. Antonio Brown was a Hall of Fame caliber talent. He may still be today. But until he's back on an NFL field and repairing his reputation, Brown can forget about the rings, the records, and the road to Canton he was once paving in his prime.